Hey chickadees, it's Miss D. Today I'm gonna make the video for you, and we're going to learn how to make addition and subtraction problems from a number line. Okay, so as you can see, I have a number line right there, and we know that this number line is set in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is an eighths number line, which means 8's going to be my denominator for all of my fractions. And if I were to label each one, you would know that this one is 1/8, then we'd have 2/8 and 3/8 and so on. Okay. And my penmanship kind of looks like some of yours. Oh well. That's what happens when we're this far apart from each other. And now to create the problem. You guys know that the number line is very important. That's the first step in all of this. But what really is going to make the problem for us is the arrow that you're going to be seeing. You're going to be seeing an arrow that's either going to go this way or that way. And depending on if it goes right or left, depends on if we're adding or subtracting. So I'm going to start my arrow at 3/8 right there. And I'm going to draw it to the right to 6/8. So what that arrow is pointing out is that it's showing me that my first number in my addition problem is going to be 3/8. And then because my arrow is going to the right, I'm going to be adding, and then I'm going to be adding however many there are here. So if I have from 3/8, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And because I have 3 spaces between where it starts and where it stops, it's going to be another 3/8. So I'm going to take 3/8 plus 3/8, and that answer should give me 6/8, which is right where my arrow ends. Okay. Now I'm going to erase that problem up there so we don't get it confused with the other one that we're going to do next. Now this problem, or this number line, is set into tenths. Okay. So there we go. Now you can see. So all we're going to do this time, instead of writing all the numbers out, I'm only going to put the numbers that I need down. So I'm going to start with my arrow first, and my arrow is going to go from here to the right, which means if it goes to the right, it's going to be adding. So I'm going to only label the fractions that I need, okay? So the first fraction that I have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5 and tenths, because my 10 here is the denominator for all of my fractions. So I'm going to go 5 tenths, and which means 5 tenths is the first number of my problem. And remember, when the arrow goes to the right, I am adding. So this is an addition problem. And now I have to figure out how many I'm actually going to be adding. Well, that again comes from how many spaces there are. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 spaces in there, which means now it's going to be my first fraction plus how many more tenths did I just put in there? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 5 tenths plus 4 tenths. And that, you know, is going to equal 9 tenths. Okay, so we have wherever the arrow starts, wherever the end of the arrow starts is my first problem. Then I count the spaces, or I count the next amount of tenths, or like it was up here for eighths, or like you're going to see down in the next problem, a different number. And that's how many tenths or eighths or whatever the denominator is that I add up. And I put it over the denominator again. Now, what's going to happen if we do a subtraction problem? Well, just like with these ones that went to the right, it was addition, which means now if we go and have our arrow start go to the left, it's going to be a subtraction problem. So the arrow goes to the right, it's addition. If it goes to the left, it's subtraction. And I set it up just like I did before. I always start with the fraction that lines up with the arrow here. And this one is 3/4. So I'm going to write my 3/4. There we go. And then because we know the arrow goes to the left, it's going to be minus. And again, I have to count how many fourths there are between each of my sets. So that's 1/4 and 2/4. So I'm going to take 3/4 minus 2/4. And then you guys know that 3 minus 2 is going to give me 1/4. And there's your answer. All right, chickadees. All of that is how it works for your math assignment today. If you have any questions, you can call me, you can text me, you can contact me through email. Keep doing what you're doing and keep doing well. All the instructions I just told you are also on a detailed sheet of paper with more examples. Stay safe, chickadees, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.